cinema peeps.
It's that kind of day today.
It is.
All giggly. But, Yar, time to get down to business to defeat the Huns, motherfuckers. So we did real good this week. We each watched an Oscar movie.
2.
So
I watched 2.
Already pat on the back for us.
Yep.
2?
I watched 2, yes.
You didn't tell me that.
I thought I
What was
did.
the other one
Okay,
you
sorry.
watched?
Tick, tick, boom.
Oh, right. You said you were thinking about watching it, so maybe just because I heard thinking, I was like, oh,
Gotcha.
I haven't got a confirmation.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. We got 3 right there, and I watched the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yes.
Book of Boba Fett. But most importantly, I can't run up all the way upstairs because the book's upstairs, but I finished the book.
Yay! Okay, clearly I need to get a move on my reading, because damn, girl.
I finished it Friday morning, I think.
Nice.
I was getting to like that, the juicy stuff, so I was like, I just kept reading. I was like, oh god, more.
Nice.
Give me more.
Give me more.
But crikey, man, what a solid story.
Excellent. I'm glad you liked it.
I say it's a solid mystery. No stone left unturned. I'm excited for the sequel, even though I'm still 100th and something in line. I don't want to say too much not to spoil anything, because there's a lot of cool stuff that happens.
Ooh, so. Okay. Well, it's getting me more excited to read it. So at least, if anything, there's that.
Read. Although, I think I have to double check now. Because the Oscar movie I ended up watching this week was CODA, and I think actually that's a book too. So I was going to actually check the library and see if I could rent that book out too.
Nice.
Gosh, look at me, just using my library card. Savvy bitch. But yeah, me and my family watched CODA. That's on Apple Plus.
Yes.
And I'm really excited for you to watch it because I think you're really going to love it.
My mom really wants to see it too, so her and I are going to sit down probably this weekend and watch it, if not sometime this week.
Do it. It is so... It's really unfortunate. It's really good.
Yeah.
So again, it has the curse of Ted Lasso, where I don't feel a lot of people are going to be able to watch it because it's on Apple Plus, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And second, and most importantly, because I enjoyed it and it's in the Best Picture category, it's not going to win.
Oh, man.
It just feels like any movie, like, I'm like, wow, that's really good. And it's Best Picture? Shit, well, it's gotta win.
Right?
It will not win. So I'm sorry to CODA right now.
Oh, man. I mean, who knows? Who knows, right? The universe has done some weird stuff this year, so who knows? Maybe the fates will align, but...
Right.
Like we said in our, previous Oscar predictions podcast, you don't necessarily have to be a Oscar-winning film to be a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I really hope so. And also, the father in the film got a Best Supporting Actor nod. And, I mean, this is kind of exciting, but I think a little sad in a way. He is the first ever deaf actor to be nominated.
Oh.
I don't know if it's specifically... I'm assuming it's specifically for this category.
Mm-hmm.
And or could be the first ever. Although, I feel like that can't be true. Because on one hand, again, this is where it's a little sad, where it's like it's 2022. And really, this is the first time, Like,
yeah.
In that angle, it's a little sad to hear stuff like that. But I'm still happy for him either way. Like, I really, really hope so. But of course, I have my little Debbie Downer thoughts. But yeah. I'm really rooting for this film. It was really good. It was so funny. It was full of heart, and like, it deals with the theme of like, quickly, very basic review of the story. CODA stands for Children of Deaf Parents, or Deaf
Adults.
A deaf adult. Thank you. So her entire family is deaf except for this girl. So she has had to learn sign language, and they own a fishing boat. So she has to get up really early to go help them go fishing in the morning, and then go to school and try to be a normal human, But yeah, so she does so much for the family. She's the interpreter of the family. And so that weighs pretty heavy because she is kind of like the support system for this family.
Right.
Their kind of connection to the outside world.
Yeah.
I feel like a story like that could have easily gone either too cheesy or like really depressing.
Yeah.
Like very easily, but I feel this film does such a phenomenal job of making it speaking again, it was so full of heart, it was so funny, but it didn't like I'm also on Letterboxd if you want to follow me there on Letterboxd. I do movie reviews there, but it could have easily fallen to like a CW special, you know.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. Instead, it's just genuinely about this story about this girl basically trying to find her own independence and how to, you know, and the family trying to find their own independence in the world.
Yeah. And
it's just like, it's such a fun story. And again, because there was like kind of like a bit of a love interest, and then very early on they introduced like a bully-esque character. Mm-hmm. So I thought for sure, I was like, oh, this is where we're getting into like the special where it's going to be like the mean girl and the boy. But they took like such a far back seat in this film, and I was so thankful for that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's, again, I hate that it's on Apple Plus, but if you can, I think everyone should watch it. It's great. It's great. And like I said, as of right now, I'm really rooting for it to win all the awards that I think it's only nominated for 3 things. Yeah. But I really hope. Honestly, if it wins anything, like, I'm going to be super pumped, but I'm just like, this is my new movie I'm rooting for.
Aw, nice. I'm excited to watch it now. That's awesome.
I think you and your mom are going to love it. I know it's already putting a lot of pressure, but I think you guys are really going to like it.
Awesome. Well, that just makes me more excited to watch it. So we'll definitely do that this week. That'll be our movie of the week. But I was going to say, my unofficial opinion, just, you know, carrying off of your thoughts there. Hi, buddy. If anybody... If there's any platform that you should sign up for these days, I feel like Apple TV is winning. Because I'm, like, no offense to Netflix or Prime, like, maybe Disney Plus if you like, you know, the content that's on Disney Plus, but, like, Apple TV seems to be providing a lot more of what people want and are looking for, whereas I find I'm becoming more and more disappointed by, like, Amazon Prime especially, but, like, Prime and Netflix. That's just my unofficial opinion, but... So if anybody's on the fence about what kind of streaming platform they want to get these days, you've got both Caleigh's and my approval to go for Apple TV Plus.
I wish it was like they would do the thing like Netflix, where yes, they have their own originals, and then after a while they put them on DVD.
Yes, yeah.
So at least then more people can experience it. Whereas when I was trying to look up for Ted Lasso, like, as far as I know, they have no plans to. So that's why I fear CODA will also fall into that category, which again makes me kind of sad. But I would say if you happen to buy an Apple product and you have a free year, do it, and then you can unsubscribe.
Yes.
Show them we mean business.
Yeah.
But yes, please tell me. I want to know your thoughts on The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Because when I saw the movie poster, I was like, what the fuck is going on? What is this movie about?
Oh,
and then I heard like a couple little things about it, but
yeah.
Give us your view.
So do you know who she is?
I totally forgot, but she does play a real person in real life.
Yes.
What is it? Televangelist?
A televangelist, yeah.
Yeah. But then she goes against the religion or something.
Okay, so here I'll give you like a brief thing. So Jessica Chastain plays Tammy Faye Baker, who is she's she and her husband became very popular, famous televangelists. Andrew Garfield, yes. Televangelists, like, all the way from the 50s to like the 90s. Yeah, they were like big on, like, you know, trying to get the word of God out there for everybody, and
thank God.
Yeah, and they were big on, you know, trying to touch as many people as possible. So they worked really hard to, like, you know, build their way up. And Tammy Faye, she the story's obviously about her and her, so you kind of like see where she grew up and like what kind of circumstances she grew up in and how her and her husband ended up meeting and like how that whole thing plays off. But you know, the premise that I got from it is we're seeing obviously everything through her perspective, right? So I think the kind of underlying theme of the movie is showing like what people see Christianity as it is and what she was interpreting Christianity as it should be. So because like there's multiple times throughout the movie where like somebody will give their opinion on like Christianity and how people should be and what's considered the Christian way and what isn't, and then there's times where she'll like clap back at them, but it's done in such a like a positive, innocent way, because she's just like, well, I just think everybody should be how they are because that's who they are, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because I was gonna say like that was a big turn for her, right? Is that later on she became a big advocate of like LGBTQ and everybody, which obviously, unfortunately, some people, it feels like in that space of Christianity, they're not as welcoming.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of interesting. And so yeah, you get to basically the whole movie's just the experience about her and kind of, you know, she gets screwed over by her husband and screwed over by, you know, the production company that their show kind of went through, and you know, she had a good heart and just kind of got mixed up with the wrong people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It was never really knew about her, but my mom was kind of like giving me some background information about who she was, and so yeah, watching the movie, I felt like it was pretty clear throughout the whole movie. You didn't feel like you had to know who she was already in order to understand the movie, so that was pretty good. Andrew Garfield did a really great job playing her husband, so applause to him. And yeah, I like that she's nominated for lead actress. So I cannot remember who else is in the category other than Kristen Stewart for playing Princess Diana. But I feel like if she doesn't get it for Princess Diana, I really hope that Jessica Chastain gets it for Tammy Faye, because yeah, I thought she did a killer job.
A killer job.
A killer job.
Well, I also like when there's movies, like not specifically obviously on televangelists and like Christians, but when there is like a biopic film and you can walk away being like, either I'd like to learn more, you know, I mean, same with documentaries too. It's like something I don't know what it is, but I come out of it wanting to know more. I feel then you've done a good job.
Right. Well, it's kind of an interesting, like, I feel like just thinking about like some of the movies, not that maybe in the past I've just not paid as much attention, but I'm just focusing on the movies this year in particular that are nominated. There's a few at least that are starting conversations for people. And so like this one in particular, because religion is obviously a big, you know, kind of interesting topic of conversation for some people. So I feel like this movie and how it's told and how it's portrayed and stuff like that is kind of an interesting perspective on the difference between what, you know, what you'd consider some people to be like what like old Christianity, or I don't know, like whatever some people have a certain perspective of what it means to be Christian, and there's a lot more people nowadays considering, you know, we're in the year 2022. These are, you know, changing times and stuff like that. It's not so black and white anymore. Like, let's have that conversation of what, you know, what does it mean to be a good person and, like, you know, do God's will, sort of thing, right? Like, not to get too religious, but I generally feel people in this, like, as you're holding your hands, like in this category, I feel they tend to weaponize a lot of like that kind of stuff, whereas I feel like you still can be a Christian, you know, you can still have your belief systems, but it's when you start weaponizing, like, no, if you don't do these things, you're not a good person. It's like, no, that's not true. Just because you think a certain way or da-da-da-da-da doesn't make you not a good person. Yeah.
You know? I think that one is I think that one's a cheap one to rent, so.
Yes.
I think, like, I already told you, but our goal is to get through all the free stuff first, and then we're going to start renting, because I know my mom really wants to watch Belfast, but as of right now, it's $24 to buy on Prime. And to me, I don't know. I'm like, am I buying the physical movie as well? Yeah. So I'm not a little sure on that. But I'm hoping eventually it might go down in price, or that it will show up in theaters more. But
hopefully,
But I am hoping to get some of those ones like Tammy Faye, The Eyes of Tammy Faye down. Even though, yes, they're not Best Picture nods, but, you know. Again, it's not the reason we put them on the list, right? Is because they were being nominated for multiple things, so obviously it's like, if I can see this, I'm a winner,
right? There's some very interesting songs that, like, she obviously had like a whole bunch of albums, like Christian albums and music that she produced and stuff like that, so there's like, it shows like the songs that she sings and everything, so it's a very colorful film all around, so I 10 out of 10 recommend it. I think you'll enjoy it.
All right, excellent. I'm excited. Was my thought. Oh, and then you also watched Tick, Tick, Boom. How did that
go? Tick, Tick, Boom, I wasn't 100% sure about it at first. Because I didn't really know what it was about, and I kind of was hearing like mixed reviews and stuff like that. But Zena and I, shout out to Zena and I ended up watching it because she's a big Andrew Garfield fan, so and a big fan of musicals, like myself. So she's like, let's do it, let's watch it. So we sat down to watch it, and I didn't realize until I kind of like did a little bit of research, but yeah, like it's about the story's about the guy who created the musical Rent. And so it's kind of his like kind of like quarter life crisis sort of thing that he's going through. He's got he's putting so much pressure on himself to produce this musical before his 30th birthday. And so it's just kind of like showing his progression and like the worries and the stresses and the fact that he's just so like he's dove like head first into trying to finish this musical, that he's kind of pushed all of his friends away and all this kind of stuff, and in the end he ends up succeeding, and the musical's a big hit, and he's that's kind of it. And then they kind of show at the end, they kind of do like a little bit of a blurb of what happens after the story, and
because he tragically die pretty young.
Well, yeah, that's what I didn't realize. Is his next production he was working on. It was like a rough draft at the time, but he, after this one that the movie's about was successful, he started to produce Rent. But sadly, he died on opening night of Rent from from an aneurysm. So he stressed him, like it's like he's basically stressed himself out to death, basically. So that's just really unfortunate and stuff, but I had no idea that happened to him, and that he was so young. And but the coolest thing is, and I was telling Zena because she hasn't seen Rent, but I'm like, if you watch Rent, you'll see the inspiration he took from it through Tick, Tick, Boom, because it's very similar music style, the way they kind of communicate through song. And just like some of the songs he sings, you can he has like lyrics from the musical Rent in it, so you're like, oh, okay. But I think that overall is what really gave me the appreciation for it. So I was pleasantly surprised by it, and yeah. So if you're familiar with Rent and you like that kind of style of musical, it's pretty good.
What was my thought? Well, I've watched the movie Rent. I've never seen the play, which also has Jesse Martin in it.
Jesse L. Martin, yeah, he's in the movie, right? Yeah,
so fucking talented. But I'm excited. Like I said, I was really intrigued by. There was a scene on YouTube where he's having a fight with his girlfriend, and it's him and Vanessa Hudgens singing the song at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done. I know my dad's not gonna like it. He does not like musicals of any capacity. So
really? I'm surprised. I figured your dad would be a big musical guy.
But nah. So I think it might be a tough one.
Yeah.
But
it is on Netflix though, so at least you don't have to like him and haw about like renting it or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like really catchy songs, and Andrew Garfield can sing. Like, good to him.
That's what I keep hearing. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah. The only thing I'm confused about though is like for the Oscars, at least, like he's nominated for main actor, I think, lead actor.
Yes.
So I hope he wins for that. I think that's pretty cool considering who he's portraying in it. But the other thing it's nominated for is best editing.
Yeah.
And so I've always been confused as to what like the requirements are for best editing for Oscar films, because when I think of editing, I think of like the creativity behind it, but maybe there's something more that they're looking for, because I would not choose this film of all the other films as best editing. Like I think more like best original score or song or like something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Oscars are, again, we talked a lot about it on that episode, so I won't dive into it once again. But yeah, it is interesting what they consider for what awards. But like you said, we're going to not vote, but hope for our favorites to win.
Yes.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope, yeah.
Fingers crossed. Well, I kind of wish I watched another Oscar or another film this week, but instead my family really wanted to watch the Book of Boba Fett.
How was that?
I'm personally not enjoying it, but
See, See, I feel like, and this is just completely my personal opinion, I feel like there's a certain type of audience that the Star Wars movies pleases and focuses on. I love some of the like main Star Wars movies. The Mandalorian I enjoyed. I appreciated the creativity and like just all of the behind the scenes stuff, all the technology that was used to produce that. But when it comes to like carrying on other stories in the universe of Star Wars, I really have no interest. So,
and I think that is like kind of the root of the problem for me, is that I don't care about Boba Fett, and not in like a negative way. I just didn't really give a shit about him.
Yeah.
But I remember speaking of like, you know, like the Marvel timeline, like even before The Force Awakens came out, right? They were like, oh, Force Awakens coming out, and then in between there's another Star Wars film. And I remember like way down the line, like Mandalorian was like way over here. And I think Boba Fett was supposed to come out before Mandalorian or something, but obviously things changed in the creative process or whatever. Again, this was many years ago. And I remember all my guy friends were like, oh yeah, Boba Fett's coming back. And I was just like, I could care less.
Yeah.
Again, it's beautifully made, beautifully shot, you know, props, the creativity of that world. But I just can't give a shit. Like, I'm enjoying watching it with my family because we just make commentary throughout the thing. But, like, otherwise, like, it was kind of funny. Yeah, and it was kind of funny because, like, as I said, my mom was complaining how Power of the Dog felt long. Like, one of the episodes we watched last night, I was like, fuck, this feels long. I'm like, why? And I think it was only 50. My mom was like, it was only 50 minutes. And I was like, oh, it's so long.
So long.
And I didn't mean it to be like, you know, teasing them about it. I just genuinely was like, I don't find this super interesting. Like, what I'm holding out for, though, is that I did look on IMDb and it looks like baby Grogu is making an appearance again.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I'm holding out for.
Wow. Good for you.
Right. Well, the last episode was actually strictly all about the Mandalorian.
Oh.
They just took a pause and they were like, what's up, Mandalorian? Let's talk about you again. Which, you know, kind of made me happy, but at the same time, I'm like, we're going to get right back into Boba Fett, and I just... Again, I applaud Star Wars, like, the creativity, you know, but... I think it was a line my brother said when we were watching the either first or second episode. Again, as we said, we're not humongous into Star Wars lore, but apparently Jabba the Hutt has cousins. So there's more of them.
Oh, God.
It was disgusting to see. And I was like, WTF? And my brother goes, oh, yeah, the Jabba the Hutts are like a really big crime. Like, they're really big crime lords, like their entire family. And I was like, and here's the root of the problem. Because I don't know all this intricate Star Wars lore and everything, I'm just like...
Yeah.
I think if you really, really have a hard-on for Boba Fett, I'm sure you will enjoy it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not like... It's beautifully shot. Like, costume, everything is top-notch, but I could care less.
Yeah.
I could just care less. And there's like this whole thing where they're like, here's him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit or whatever. He gets abducted by the Sand People, where he's clearly a prisoner, but then he becomes one with the family. And then all this other stuff. And it's just like... Like I said, I'm just personally not enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching it with my family, but I know personally if I was watching this alone... And I'm someone who will watch something all the way through, even if I'm not enjoying it. I'm pretty sure I would have turned this off ages ago. I just would have been like, nope, I'm done. Could care less. I don't care where the story is going. Like, this just doesn't intrigue me. And I was thinking about, because I remember a lot of people had complaints of The Mandalorian being too much of like a side questy series. But I feel I found it more interesting because it was like a clean slate. You know? Yeah. We were to learn more about the Mandalorian lore through a new character, you know, and there was like little things that were fun to learn about this character in the world again. Yeah. And being reacquainted with the world again. Yeah, yeah. I felt too like, and like just watching the Mandalorian and stuff like that, it felt very like much like a Western. Like it kind of gave me those vibes and stuff like that. So for me, I love Westerns, so that was kind of the main engagement for me. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, when it comes to Star Wars stuff, I love the main movies, and I'm sure there's a ton of people out there who are just like,
Boba Fett's the best. So like they all love it and everything. So that's great. But yeah, it's just not my tea.
And at first though, I did feel a little guilty because everyone I was like, oh, have you not watched the Boba Fett? Oh, it's so good. Like I was like, shit.
Yeah.
But as I'm watching this, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm tired about the same thing. I also find it kind of funny because like they have their own theme music like the Mandalorian, but I just feel the Mandalorian one's so much better, and this one's like a weird copy of it.
Oh really?
Like it's I don't know how, because it's like I'm trying to remember I'm like remembering the song in the Mandalorian, and this one kind of has its own like song that's not like words, you know, it's all just like either instrumental or like words, like huh, hey, huh, is what most of the song is anyway.
Shark bait, hoo-ha-ha.
Shark bait, hoo-ha-ha, right? But it's like a weird watered down copy of it. So to me, it's like they basically were like, here's the Mandalorian. Everyone really liked that. Let's just take the blueprints of that, make this show. But again, I feel maybe if you're really into the Star Wars universe and you know the Jabba the Hutt weird ancestral twin, like this is your jam, all right? For me, I'm just like so bored. I was like, and again, there's a Wookiee in the show, but he's very mean. He's not Chewbacca. He a mean Wookiee. But he beats the crap out of these. I call them dinosaur people, but I guess they're lizard people. My bad. And again, something I didn't know, because my brother was like, oh yeah, they like were one of the species that hunt down the Wookiees. So that's why there's this whole scene where he gets into a fight with them. But again, it's like, I didn't know that. Yeah. Listen, I only have so much brain space anymore.
Right?
Like maybe some Marvel, DC trivia, video game, books. Like there's so much. And again, like I said, I'm enjoying it watching it with my family as something to do, but I personally I would have given up on this show like ages ago. Yeah. I would have been like, so nice, but ta-ta, I'm
ta-ta. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think we still have 2 more episodes, but luckily, then that's it.
Oh, boy.
But again, if you personally like the Mandalorian, or sorry, the Book of Boba Fett, you know, good for you. I'm happy for you. Could care less. So yeah, I'm hoping for more Oscar picks this week / other movies to watch.
Yes. Are you going to go see, like, Oscar movies aside, do you have any like other movies you're going to see in the theater this week? Or
I'm hoping to see Uncharted. I kind of avoided the opening weekend just because it was Family Day. Yeah. So it was going to be like, oh, we could go Family Day. And I was like, wait a second. That's not a good idea. Yeah. That's not a good idea. So that's what I'm hoping to do this week as well. Try to cram that in. I'm hoping to do a mommy-daughter date. We're going to see Death on the Nile.
Nice.
Hopefully. With some friends, but we'll have to see how that goes. So
nice. Yeah.
Those are two right there.
I want to go see Dog, Uncharted, obviously, and Dog. Which is the one with Channing Tatum. It looks like it'll be funny.
Instagram has been pushing that on me.
Like literally.
I was like, I get it, Instagram. Calm down.
Yep, for sure.
Sometimes Instagram, you gotta fucking chill pill. Take a fucking chill pill.
Oh boy, Uncharted's making me want to play the games again too.
I was happy that shout out to Kathy. She played a little bit on Twitch, but nice. I did have to stop watching because I was like, I'm not that far into the last game, so I didn't want any spoilers. Yeah. So I watched up to the part that I was up to, then I was like, sorry. I have to go off and do something else because I didn't want spoilers. Yeah. But yeah, supposedly it's crushing the box office numbers right now. I don't know how good it necessarily is, but, you know, apparently it's doing really well at the box office, so I'm happy.
Well, let me know if you go to see it this week, because I might too, and then we can maybe that'll be next episode. We'll talk about Uncharted. Ooh.
People will be like, thank Christ, stop talking about Oscar films, you weird old snubbies.
We'll just take a break, change it up, you know? We'll come back with more Oscar stuff.
Switch it up when we watch some more, but I mean, it's almost March, so we gotta keep a good pace, you know?
We do.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for today's episode.
This was a good episode. We had a lot to talk about.
We did. It's a jam-packed one. My God. So chaotic. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yar. Hopefully you enjoyed us rambling along. Like we said, we'll keep you updated on our Oscars and hopefully a couple new movies if we venture out into the world again. But it's a dangerous place out there. Oh, excuse me. If you enjoy this content, please leave us a little like, subscribe if you would like more, and leave us a comment. Have you watched any of the Oscar films? Is there any films you want us to check out in general? Always up to add to my movie list that I will be forever growing of content that I have not even touched yet. But yeah, until next time, watch all the content, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Monkey.